Hello, what's going on? We back with yet another one. Okay, Cody, you gotta stop doing that. Either way, hey, I'm Cody there. Nice to meet you. If this is your first time watching me, thank you. Nice to meet you. Love to have you here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you would like to. I'm not gonna force you. I mean, I would love it. And look at me, don't I have such a pretty face? Okay, so today, what are we doing? Okay, we're gonna do the Detroit Lions schedule. We're gonna try to go ahead and predict that bad boy. We did the Carolina Panthers, we did the Tennessee Titans, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to link one of those. And where am I at here? Probably a her, but either way, yeah. Let's go ahead and lock in because Green Bay Packers and the Lions will start off Week 1. I'm gonna give that one to the Green Bay Packers. I know the Lions are going to be facing a little bit of new kind of things going on, right? They have a new offensive coordinator, they have a new defensive coordinator. Granted, they are both in-house hires, so not a lot of things are going to change. But with a lot of new coaches, right? People are going to be learning new methods, new things like that. And unfortunately, that is not really a great case to be heading into. But it's something that happens to the good teams every single year. Now the Lions are finally experiencing that. I don't believe they threw against the Commanders, but if I would have had money on it, I would have said it. To be honest with you, yeah, probably. But either way, I think I'm going to give this one to the Green Bay Packers. They don't have as much change going on. We already know who's going to be where. Who's going to be where? The Lions. The biggest issue is that man, we had so many injuries. We had this. We had that. We don't know how that defense is going to look Week 1. The offense, we're pretty confident how it's going to look Week 1. I mean, there were a couple things I would have loved the Lions to do a little differently, maybe. And unfortunately, they did lose their center. So, unfortunately, the Lions are heading into the wrong direction already. And I took a shot on them and said they were going to win their division. So, great start by me. Lions, obviously, 0-1. Week 2, they're going to play the Chicago Bears. I'm going to give this one to the Lions because they're at home. I tend to love to stick with the home team kind of homer kind of mentality. And the fact that I don't know, it's going to take Ben Johnson some time, more than likely. Uh, it's very unlikely you get a D'Amico Ryan situation or Dan Quinn just last year where your team just kind of gels together like right from the get go. And I think that Ben Johnson's going to take a little bit of time, but I know he has plans up his sleeve heading back into Ford Field. I'm going to give the Lions the win on this one, but unfortunately, that's one of those I'm not really too confident. I think Chicago could be a really good team this year if that O line is healthy and ready to work. Week 3, the Baltimore Ravens. I'm giving that one to the Ravens. Lions will start 1-2. That run game is going to be absolutely insane. I love the Baltimore Ravens offense. And their defense, I think with another year under the belt, they're experiencing what the Lions are about to experience, right? They went through a whole defensive change. So they have to kind of rebuild, reload, and do that kind of thing. And unfortunately, it did kind of look like that at times last year. It looked like they kind of figured it out towards the end of the season. And now I think the Lions are heading into that buzzsaw. The Ravens are going to be a tough team this year. And yeah, I'm going to give that one to the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Week 4 at home against the Cleveland Browns. This one's far and away for me, the Lions. Cleveland just is way too inconsistent on the offensive side. I think the defense is going to be better this year. I think that you should be proud of that. Really be happy with it. But the offense, we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know how to feel about it. So with a heavyweight like the Lions at home, man, it's hard not to back the Lions on that one. So we'll give the Lions that dub. They'll be 2-2, right? Week 5 they will be at the Cincinnati Bengals. The thing is my confidence immediately goes to the Lions on this. I think the Bengals are a very good team, but they always do this thing where they start rough during the opening stretch, right? And if they can kind of get that around, this is about the time of year where they would start getting things and gelling things. But unfortunately, they're facing a tough team in the Lions. I think the Lions are going to win the kitty battle. And I think the Bengals are going to end up having to clean their own litter because the Lions are going to come in there, they're going to stomp them out, and they're going to beat them. Their defense is nothing to write home about with how many issues that they're having, especially going on with contracts and everything like that. Bengals just don't give me enough to be too excited about. You know what I mean? Week 6 on the road to Kansas City Chiefs. I think I'm gonna go with the Lions on this one as well. They will go 4-2. That one is a tough one to call, right? Because when the Chiefs play a team that's an actual contender, 9 times out of 10 they just play poorly against them in the regular season. Sometimes, definitely last year, they kind of made sure we knew that some contenders were absolutely pretenders. That could be the case here. But for me, I think the Lions could actually get something going here, right? Because the Chiefs have a little bit of issues going on. They're losing a lot of players. They're trying to reload. I don't. And last time that happened, it took them like an extra year to get back, where we saw like the Rams and the Bengals get there. So I think that I'm pretty confident the Lions can take this one to start the season off 4-2, right? Week 7, they're going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home, and I'm going to give them that win as well. Tampa Bay has some inconsistency on the defensive side, and so does Detroit, obviously. I don't know how well that offense is going to gel together right out of the get-go. They were all banged up a lot last year. They do have Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving could be awesome. Emeka Egbuka also could be awesome. I'm pretty confident in the Detroit Lions taking this win, and I'm definitely going to stick with that. I think Tampa's going to have a good team this year. I could even see them winning their division, maybe second, maybe third, because Carolina and Atlanta are both really good teams. But for me, I'm going to stick with the Lions on this one. All right, in week 9, they come back from a bye, taking on the Minnesota Vikings. They're going to get their 6th win of the year, as they're going to beat them. J.J. McCarthy, I don't know what to believe on that one. I think he could absolutely be great, but I don't know right off the top of my head, and I think that that's part of the issue, right? Is I want to love Minnesota. I want to be absolutely big fans of them this season. I, I just don't know what to expect. It's his first full year playing, and kind of seeing what you saw in the preseason, it's kind of hard to tell if that's going to transition to the regular season. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Lions on this one. I'm going to be proud to take the Lions on this one. Hey, they're starting off the season right hot at 6-2. But now they're going to go on a bit of a slump as they take on the Washington Commanders on the road. Washington's going to beat them. Washington's going to beat them real good. And I have no reason not to believe that they can just repeat what they did in that divisional round. I know that Scary Terry needs to get paid. I know people have their concerns about Deebo Samuel. The running game, I personally like Brian Robinson. Some people don't. But I think the Commanders are going to be okay. I don't think they're going to be anything spectacular. I don't know if they repeat that lightning in a bottle that they got just last year, but I don't think that they're going to fall off completely. So I think with confidence that they can beat the Lions this week and move on. Now, week 11, they're going to take another loss. They're going to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles again on the road. The Eagles are a very complete team. Yes, they lost some players. They lost their offensive coordinator, but their offense seems pretty easy to me, right? It's kind of like the Ryan Tannehill special. Play action, give the ball to your running back. Difference is that Jalen can make things go with his feet a lot better than most. And that offense should be chugging along because their offensive line is still absolutely incredible, and I don't believe they took any L's on that. Issues on the defense could be a thing, right? Because you have a couple guys that left. But I think the Eagles will figure that out, and they're going to come back, and they're going to be strong, and they're going to get themselves another W at this point in the season. The New York Football Giants, they will be taking them on at home, and they will be beating the New York Football Giants at home. That will be their 7th win on the season, 5-2, and they're going to beat them good, beat them bad, beat them hard. Yeah, I'm gonna take him. I don't like the Giants. I think at this point Jackson Dart could absolutely be starting. Could be Jameis Winston chucking that ball through the air. But we just don't know what the Giants are gonna do. I think their defense will be better. Hopefully things will get a lot better on that offensive side of the ball, so that Dable and Shane don't have to lose their jobs. And I know that's probably where that thing is headed. But for me, I think I like what the Lions are doing. I think they're gonna get this W right there. Now, week 13, I think they're going to collect their 8th win on the year. They're going to beat the Green Bay Packers at home. The Green Bay Packers, and that's on a Thursday too, isn't it? Yeah, that's absolutely scary. Is that Thanksgiving? That's probably Thanksgiving. I think Green Bay is going to be good, but as we said from week 1, I think that they were going to catch the Lions off guard, and that's how they were going to get their first W of the season. I don't think they'll catch them off guard here. I think the Lions will be ready. The Lions have finally started winning Thanksgiving games. That is super good for them. They love to hear that kind of noise, and they're going to get another one here, taking a W. Week 14, at home to the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to take their 9th win of the year as they beat them. They beat them good. I think Dallas is going to be a lot better this year, but I don't think they're going to be better than the Lions. here, okay? I think that the defense should be pretty good. The offense, obviously, they have George Pickens, they have CeeDee Lamb. Who's going to stop it? I have a feeling somebody's about to, all right? And the Lions are going to be the team to do just that. I'm going to take the Lions pretty wholeheartedly. They're going to grab themselves their 9th win on the year. And now they're going to take a little bit of an L here. They're going to lose to the Los Angeles Rams on the road. I think Matthew Stafford and that defense, I don't know what it is about that team over there in LA, but I'm absolutely in love with them, and I think they're going to be really, really good this year. So I'm going to stick with them to get the win in this one. I think the Lions will put up a heck of a fight. I think they will be a heck of a team, but I don't think they can beat the Rams just yet. Week 16, Aaron Rodgers comes back to Ford Field to try to take on the Detroit Lions, and he will lose yet again. It's pretty simple, man. Detroit owns Rodgers now. As much as I love what they're kind of doing over there, I think the Steelers have a year or two to kind of develop themselves, right? They have a year or two to be better. And the problem with that is with Aaron Rodgers, you only have this year. I don't know if you got him enough help for that to be the difference, right? You still have Pat Fryermuth, you have Jonnu Smith, and you have DK Metcalf. Is that enough? It should be pretty fun to watch, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to beat like a team like the Lions or like Buffalo or Ravens, stuff like that. Week 17, they're going to take themselves to Minnesota. And honestly, I'm going to give them this one as well. That's a tough one. That one's a real tough one. I think they'll beat them. I think the Lions will be marching towards the playoff spot. They won't know that they have a clinch just yet. J.J. McCarthy probably throws like 2 or 3 picks because for some reason that's what Minnesota does when they play the Detroit Lions, and the Lions will beat them. It'll probably be a very close game. It'll be on Christmas Day, so shout out to them for playing on that. Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident with the Lions. And now week 18, I think they're going to take the last L of the season to the Chicago Bears. They're going to go 11-6 on the year. I think at this point, Chicago clinches themselves a playoff win, probably at like, 10-7. I think that they get themselves into the playoffs. I've said that. I don't know what it is. It's just in my brain right now that Ben Johnson's going to be the one to absolutely spark that team over the edge and get them into the playoffs. And that may even be the case. But, yeah, I'm going to give the Lions the loss here, right? 11-6, still pretty good. I think you're looking at a playoff run with that. And I think you're pretty happy with it. Nothing wrong with it. All good. But that is going to be the end of the Detroit Lions schedule prediction. If you have a team you would like me to try to do, bound down below. Remember, we've already done Carolina, we've done Tennessee, and now Detroit. All blue teams, pretty much, because the blue teams are the coolest. In my personal opinion. That being said, I thank you so much. If you made it all the way here to the end, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, I would appreciate you so much. If you spend a minute on me, I'm going to love you for life. Either way, I'm going to get on out of here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.